Hey guys, it's Mr. Flanagan. I'm just going to run through the most recent project. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my document. I went to Photopea, I went to File and New. I'm going to call this magazine spread or something that I can remember so I can find it easily. I'm going to do underscore today's date, or the day, I should say, Friday. Set this to inches. Make sure this is 17 inches wide and 11 inches tall. And make sure the DPI is 300. If it's not 300, there's a chance it might be blurry. So I'm going to click create. And I'm just going to, I've already copied here the objectives for this assignment and the ones that we're going to be running through today. So as you can see, I made a text box by clicking this. And I can go up to size and adjust the size of my font. Okay, so we've done this. Check. Document size. Did you utilize a grid? Okay, so the easiest way to make sure that we are using a grid is if we go up to View and Rulers. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring some rulers on the left side and the top of our spread. I'm going to change this to inches because we're going to be working in inches for this project. You can see the total width of my document is 17 inches. So I'm going to set my first ruler by clicking the ruler and dragging it out to 8.5. And that is the center of my spread. It's important that none of your copy in your spread goes over this because it's going to be impossible to read. And it's also good to have your headlines fall within one page, unless you're doing something pretty funky and creative and you're making it work. Okay, so that's that. So we're going to make sure we're using a grid. We're going to make sure that our fonts don't go too close to the edge. We want to leave a little bit of a margin. Okay, so I'm going to put a margin on this side too and try and make them about the same. About the same. There we go. A little too much. Okay. Okay, so there's my margins. I don't want to impede on the crease of my spread here. So there we go. We've got our start to our grid going, just some margin lines. Font choice communicates aesthetic. Well, I hope so. First thing we're going to do before we choose our font is I'm going to go over to my digital sketchbook. I'm going to find the link that I put in my spread, or sorry, the link that I put in my slide deck to my two articles. So here, I'm just going to click this article, East versus West. Remember, your headline is to get people to stop and read something that will catch their attention. And your subheadline is what's going to tell more about what the article is about. Okay. And again, you don't need to put the whole article in your opening spread. It's just to get people's attention. If you can fit a good deal of the article in, great, but don't crowd things. So I've selected my text box here. I've started making a box, and I'm going to paste my body copy right into there. All right, so I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. And I'm going to go over to unsplash.com to find an image that works for my article. So mine's about the conditions on the East Coast versus the West Coast for snowboarding. So I'm going to type in snowboarding. Snowboarding, sure, that's good enough. We'll give it a general look at it. What we have here. And I'm looking for more leisurely snowboarding, not so much freestyle. So let me try snowboarding carving. When you make a hard turn in snowboarding, it's called carving. So let's see. Snowboard carving. Okay, that did not help. Okay. Maybe I can find one in here. That's a good one. I'm going to use that. Okay, let's download it for free. Boom shakalaka. And here it is showing up right there. If you're on a Chromebook, it's going to show up in your images folder. So now I'm going to go on over to Photopea and just drag this right in to my document. For now, I'm going to shut off my text layers. because I really, I just want to be working with the image right now, and I want to be creating some space. So I'm thinking I'm going to have this this snowboarder sort of his arm. I kind of want it to go over the the text for the headline, and I'm actually going to make it a little bit more dynamic too. I'm going to turn this snowboarder a little bit, give it sort of a dynamic angle. You don't want to make the trees look like they're, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. There we go. Okay. So that's that. I'm going to, so right now this image needs to be rasterized. You can see this little square here means that it's not rasterized, and it makes it really hard to edit the photo if this little square is on. So I'm going to right click it and say rasterize. There we go. Now this should be more easy to work with. Okay, so I'm going to start copying certain areas. Maybe I'll just take this whole image and lighten it up a little bit so that it's easier to find a color for the there we go. That'll make it a little bit easier for me to make the spread a consistent color. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to use my brush tool and just match this color here. One thing, if you need to pull a color from an image, if you click the color palette and then simply hover over the image and select and just click, it'll take the color that you are touching in the image. So if I want that brown color, I can just click on here. If I want that gray, I can click the gray on its helmet. So I want that sort of bluish white. And now I'm just going to color in a little bit of, add a little bit of color in here. There we go. And I'm going to select this whole area. Copy it, paste it, and I'm going to set it to back so I can really adjust it, make it really large. Oh, whoops. I should have deleted it when I copied it. All right, let's try it again. Copy it, delete it, and paste it. And now, since it's behind my other layer, I can just scale it right up so it takes up a bunch of real estate back there. There we go. Okay, that'll work, I suppose. I could finesse it a little bit more, but I'm just going to leave it at that for now. Okay, let's see. Let me put my text back in front. Okay, I haven't locked in my headline yet, but I have added an image. I have my text in here. I haven't created space through overlapping yet. So let's work on that. I'm going to bring these layers over. I'm going to find a font that works. So I'm going to go to thefont.com and type in east versus west. Or no, I'm going to find a theme. So here, let's see, trash theme. East, a little bit rough, versus west. Cool. All right, there's some good ones here. I really like this one actually. So I'm going to click it, I'm going to zoom in on it. And for you guys, you would click Control Alt and Boxy Line, which is right above the number 6. And you can be very selective with the what you want to screenshot. I unfortunately have to just print my screen because I'm on a desktop, and I'm going to paste it in here. Scale that up. Select what I want. In my case, you already have a nice selection made, but I'll select what I want, copy it, delete it, get rid of this old layer, and paste it back in there. Great. Now, Bethany asked this question yesterday. She said, Mr. Flanagan, I want to change the color of my font. So if you guys are having any issues with that, what you want to do is you want to use your magic wand tool. And that's found directly under your lasso tool. And it's in this little section here. So if I click magic wand, I can select the white, delete it. Okay. Right now it's on contiguous, which means it's not going to select all the white. It's just going to select all the white that's touching. So let me turn off contiguous and select again. And it's going to select all the white. You can see it's selected over here and in here. And that will, by unclicking contiguous, it'll select everything. All right, so I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, and Hue Saturation. This is going to allow me to change the color of my text. So I've got to, if I have really dark text, I can lighten it up. I can bring up the saturation. I can change the hue. All right. So let's see. I'm going to go with, that looks kind of like a variation of his jacket color, but I think I'm going to go gray, like his helmet. Okay. And now I'm going to lock up this text. So it kind of works like this, but I just want to, I'm going to stack it. Watching my brain spin here. What is happening, Mr. Flanagan? Make a decision, will you? This tutorial is going to last forever. I know, sorry. Okay, so there we go. Select and deselect. I've given a little bit of prominence to west, so I'm probably going to want to just adjust that a little bit. But here we go, east versus west. I'm going to bring this guy down a little bit more. Obviously, I'm going to have to bring this background to follow. You know what I might do? I might find an entirely new background. That is what I'm going to do, actually. There we go. I accidentally got rid of part of his head, so I'm actually going to bring this image back in. Rasterize. Select this head again. There we go. That back. Whew. There we go. And I want to make it look as though this head is in front of the text, so I'm going to put it in front of my font. There we go. Okay, so I'm getting there. I still need to add. Let's see, where's my text for my article? There we go. So I found a font that communicates my aesthetic. Yes, I did. For my headline, I did. Is the headline locked up? Yep, I've arranged it a little bit. Are there lines of continuity? Well, there's a line here. I'm probably going to have my sub-headline follow directly above it. Is there a clear hierarchy? Yeah, my eye goes right to that headline, and the image sort of draws me in because it creates some space. I've got my helmet overlapping my text there. Is there a pull quote? Nope, not yet. But there is hierarchy, so let me get rid of that. I'm going to have to add my pull quote, and I'm also going to have to add that image back there for my background. So let's do that. Let's find a good, we're just sort of, what do they call it? Reason background. On a snowy day. Let's see what we got here. Perfect. So I'm going to take that, save image as, and I'm going to add this to my composition and put it right behind all those call this compositing. So just do a little color adjustment so that it matches the what's happening in the image in front. Lighten it up a little bit. Make your eyes not go directly to it, and bring down some of the saturation. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm just about there. One thing is my image, I've sort of lost the space for my text. There's a lot of contrast back here, which makes it hard for me to decide on a color. So I'm just going to cover this whole side with a big white square, or maybe a blue square. Let me add some color to this. And now I'm going to throw some blending modes on it. Shift plus. That's kind of nice. Keep going though. Something that will make my text really stand out. There we go. All right, now I'm going to bring that text back in front. Okay, and I'm going to get a little fancy with this. I want my snowboard to not be in that blue tint. So let me erase from that image on top. Is there a pull quote? No, there isn't yet, but let's do that now. Okay, so all right, so let's make a pull quote. I remember seeing sheets of ice hundreds of feet, just trying to hold on. Okay. It's far too large, so I am going to make it smaller. Bring all this. Make it all should be the same font. So let's reset this. 33. 55. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to just paste in. I copied from this text my pull quote. So I'm going to paste it into its own little spot here. I'm going to make it its own color. Something that stands out, maybe something like the color of his jacket. Hopefully that works. Let's see. Like that. And let's make it bold too. So I'm going to go to Window and Character and change this from book to bold. Bold. There we go. Great. All right. So there it is. If you want to take it to the next level, guys, I can even select this and maybe throw a blending mode on it, right? Or sorry, not a blending mode, but a, you know, I love blending modes. Effect, I can go to, I can put a drop shadow on it. Okay, you can do a color overlay. If I click color overlay, I can change the color right here to a solid, make everything really solid. I always like the way white text looks with a drop shadow on like a white background. I don't know, something about it looks pretty cool to me. All right, kind of snowy. All right, so there is what I'm looking for. We covered how to create space using an image, how to make a headline, create a subheadline. Oh, subheadline, got to add that subheadline in there to help define what the article is about. Body copy, yes. Pull quote, yes. Overlapping my image with the text to add some interest, yep. So that's it, guys. Have some fun. Let me know if you have any questions. I just wanted to record this for you to so that you can reference this if you need it. All right, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you in class.